Hi there, I'm Dr. Laquita J, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about all things in between being and becoming a pharmacist. How you doing? You all right? Today, whenever you watch this, I shouldn't say today, it's this in this video, but it is today. But anywho, in this video, I want to talk about why the Naplex can feel so overwhelming and how you can truly overcome it. So, for those who do not know, I am a Naplex success strategist. I help pharmacists shift their mindset, strategize their plan, and stay effective for the Naplex exam. And the Naplex is the North American Pharmacist Licensure Exam. Naplex, right? This is a standardized test that assesses whether a I would say the candidate's knowledge of pharmacy practice, critical. Well, I'll say it's a standardized test that assesses a candidate's knowledge of pharmacy practice, critical thinking skills, and problem solving skills. Basically saying, when you went to pharmacy school, can we put you out into the field and truly practice as a pharmacist? And there was a study, because the Naplex really delves into basically it's, I said a study. The Naplex delves into basically all the things you have learned in pharmacy school on rotations and things this and that. It's like basically, it depends on what pharmacy school you went to. It's an exam for based on 3 years worth of knowledge or 4 years worth of knowledge, and in 3 or 4 years depending on your pharmacy program. But that's the key thing about it. And when it comes to the Naplex, it has different competencies. One on calculations, one on just clinical knowledge and disease states and things this nature, special populations, compounding, because we do all the things. We do some pharmacists do compound drugs, and we know that, especially like with pharmaceutical companies and things this nature, knowing how drugs are created. Of course, right? You got to know not only what the drug, how to treat the condition, what the drug does to the body, and the body does to the drug, but also to how to make the drugs, right? So that's definitely things. But that's like a quick look overview and introduction to the Naplex. Now, one of the key things though with this Naplex, because like I stated early on, the Naplex is an exam that tests you on 3 to 4 years worth of knowledge. That within itself can be overwhelming. It's not like a final exam where you're accustomed to only having the exam, like a final exam when you're in school. Well, I say more so college, your collegiate career, where you will do 3 to 4 months of a semester, then have a final exam, a comprehensive final exam. This is comprehensive exam of years of knowledge. So that could be a nuisance within itself. And then two is also, it becomes kind of overwhelming too, because it's the volume of material. Think about it, like there were concepts in school that you did not understand, but you made through to pass the class or get the grade on the exam. However, you knew that there are some gaps in between that knowledge that you needed to work on. So that hinders you, and that hinders you a lot. Then you think, that becomes, within itself becomes pressure, because you already know that you did not master this material in pharmacy school, and now you have to know the material for this exam. So that's aided pressure as well, and that's another challenge that people get into when it comes to studying for the Naplex. Also too is the time pressure. You may have had most of the time when you graduate from pharmacy school, you have this pressure of a job. The job saying you have to be licensed within 3 months, and you're not licensed, and then say if you fail the exam, they may give you a grace period for 3 more months, and that's added pressure too. So you have this time pressure, or you have your own personal timeline, and you said, hey, I want to be licensed by this particular time. So that's always play a role as well in it. And then you also have like pressure of family members and friends, spouses. So like, hey, I need to get this done. So that's also, again, other pressures and challenges that happen, and all this time pressure, the sheer volume of material to cover, and not to mention your big old prep book to say, oh my God, right? That all this leads to those feelings of being overwhelmed. You're constantly just being overwhelmed all the time. And being overwhelmed, that increase your risk for test anxiety. And test anxiety is particularly prevalent in exams like the Naplex. It's been studied, so much evidence on it, about that, how that creates test anxiety, where the content alone can create a cognitive overload. And that's, just let that breathe. Just let that breathe. Just let that breathe. And one of those things too is like, when you're so overwhelmed with that information, it just creates anxiety, stress, depression, more pressure on yourself. It just creates a loop where you just can't get out of it. And then when you create that anxiety, then it goes into the feelings of feeling inadequate. It's then the fear comes in, where you feel like you're about to fail, and you become paralyzed with it, and you get into this information paralysis, where you want to constantly go with so much information and just learn, but never apply any of it. Or you feel like, hey, you're learning because I'm going on the material, but you just keep going on material, you're reading your books, stuff like that, but you never take the time out to really understand the material. And then when you put forth the effort to take the exam, alone say you did not pass the exam, or you keep studying and you on this journey of you failed the exam, and it's been years since you even took it, or months, then the burnout becomes. And these are all common. This is the emotional toil that happens because you started out simply with not knowing how to approach this material. It's a lot of material to learn, and it's not necessarily it's not necessarily a lot of material to learn. You just have to remind yourself that you know this material. It's not new to you. You're familiar with it. You just have to specialize in it. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yes, but you have to, and then when it comes to that pressure, and then turns into that emotional toil, where now we're living in a state of anxiety. We're anxious by every single thing, all the time. We have this feeling of not being enough. I don't know enough. And then this fear of failure comes in, and it all just aids on to this total thing of just emotional toil. Now, over the years, this is one of the things I do as a Naplex coach. One of the things I always have to do this with my clients and make sure that they understand this emotional toll. And that's I always say, I'm a Naplex coach who shifts the mindset, because you can think your way into something and out of something. And the biggest part of my job is to help you with your mindset, because if you deem that the material is hard, if you deem that it's too complicated, you can't learn anything, my job becomes very hard to do. And that's one of the key things I have to do. And one of those things we do, as always, is we focus on the mindset with different mindset strategies. And we have a I would say, as a Naplex coach, I like to have a holistic approach when it comes to studying, because all things, you are a holistic person. You just can't, you are a human being, and you have all different aspects of your life that you have to consider when you're trying to go to the next level. And it's not a thing of not just as being an exam. It's one of those things of, I remember when I failed the exam. I took the exam 3 times. You do not know. I have a whole series on that. My Naplex story. So definitely I'll link that. And that's one of the things for me. It was hard to do, like learn, and I had to work on my mindset, and taking the exam, it was so important for me to shift my mind, get my emotions together. When that ocean of doubt comes, what will be my response to it? I had to learn how to channel my emotions, and that's one of the key things I teach my clients. That's one of the absolute key things, and it's like even the words they say. Like, in every single person, I call them doctor, because sometimes, especially when you've been out of school for a while, you're working a job that people make you feel less than, or you just hold on yourself in less than, you need to be reminded you are a doctor, and something just simple as that can help. Also, too, one of the key things when it comes to this information overload, um, is that, and one of the key things I want to say this, one of the key reasons why most people feel like you're overwhelmed with the information is because you lack structure. You truly lack structure in your study habits. You lack structure in studying the material itself. And this is why, and you don't study with the end in mind. You only study what you're saying, hey, I did something. But the end in mind being that by passing this exam, what does it do to your life? How does it change the trajectory of your life? And you have to constantly remind yourself of that. And that's one of the biggest problems I have seen when it comes to people who lack structure. There is even a study that came out where it was demonstrated. It was a case study from Innovations in Pharmacy, I believe, and it demonstrated that students who use a structured study plan were 25% more likely to pass the Naplex on the first try compared to those without a study plan. And this is something where I wanted to do as a Naplex coach. I have this program. I offer services, and different services I offer. One particular being passing Naplex in 40 days. In passing Naplex 40 days, this is one of the key things we do. We have a systematic approach to mastering the material without overwhelm. We start by giving you this structure, a true study plan for the 40 days, so you can see these are the materials you want to cover in 40 days. But then go into more specific things of how to approach the material. What are some key things you should look for in the material? If you were asked a question like this, you should expect this kind of way how to answer the question. Or if you ever receive this drug on the exam, you should be thinking of these kind of drug interactions, these kind of side effects, these kind of mechanism actions of that drug, so you know, hey, this is something I just like already tune my mind on. And that's one of the key things that I like to do. And I'm so excited. You guys have heard me talk about it over and over and over. I truly decided that when it comes to my coaching program, everybody can't afford it. And so I've decided, and it's also too that my staff and I, we have great coaches and all, but I know some people like more intimate settings and things of this nature. Some people just say, hey, I want to study by myself. So I definitely want to introduce to you guys the Passing Naplex in 40 Days planner. And this planner is not your ordinary planner. It is a planner that was definitely structured with you in mind. Not only does it have a step-by-step study plan saying every day, hey, study this, review this. It also built in there are 200 plus practice questions as well as different check-ins and check-in points. And I want to introduce you guys to this planner. We are definitely It's in the process right now of, it's almost finished, but I want to introduce you guys to it. And if you're interested in the plan, I want you to click the link below, because it's definitely something that may benefit. Well, I said may. It will benefit you. It will help reduce this overwhelm that you're feeling. It will give you a simple but yet powerful approach to breaking down that big prep book, and it also gives you support as well in getting it, and it gives you different tools, and I just can't wait for you guys to get it. So I want to encourage you to learn more about the challenge, well, not the challenge, the planner, because I'm thinking about creating a challenge with this, actually. But if it's a challenge, if you want a challenge to go with it, let me know. Look, comment below. Email me at info@pharmacy.rph. Let me know if there's something you're interested in, because I think it'll be very, very good. But definitely want to do that, because I feel like it's a perfect companion. It's like having me by your side on a daily basis. So I really love that. So, yeah, the way to really get overwhelmed is to truly have structure in your study system, and that's one of the key things to do. And and this planner is truly a way to have more structure in your day. And I'm just really excited about it. Okay, like I'm just so excited. This got all like happy about this. And two, this is Pharmacy RPH first physical products. So I'm even more excited about that. Check the links below. Yes, check the links below. And really, that's all I have today. Until next time, remember that pharmacy is on limit if you are. Now go be great. I thank you guys for joining me. Please like, comment, subscribe to this video, comment below. If you think a challenge would be good to go with this, I think so though. I think a planner plus a challenge. And the details, we're gonna figure that out. But I definitely think a planner plus a challenge. So the planner, definitely 40-day planner. Yes, but a challenge that goes with it, probably a bit better, right? Let me know if you like that, okay? Just comment below, let me know. I think it's really gonna be really good, so let me know for sure. So yeah, until next time again, I'm Dr. LaQuita J. Remember that pharmacy is on limit if you are. Now go be great. Talk to you guys later.